Welcome back, Stasa23 here, back again with some knife therapy. And before I get started, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you don't, I'm cool with a thumbs down as well. And let's get started. On today's video is going to be some knives that I've modified as of late. On the last video, I asked if y'all want to see that kind of stuff, and a bunch of y'all said y'all did. So figured I'd show what I've worked on recently, and some that I don't think I've shown this channel because I think I showed them on Instagram. I forget that y'all don't all follow me on Instagram, but if you want to, I go by the same name on Instagram as well. I'd love to have you there as well. So let's get started. First one is one that I like a lot. I just got finished with this one, and that is the ZT0707. I mean, it was fine like it is, and this is what it looks like originally. So you always ask me what it looked like before, and just a thinner blade right there. So what I did was I took about an inch off of this side, the same on that side, and I think it turned out pretty good. It was already stupid light. Now it's very, very light. Also tapped it for this deep carry pocket clip that the customer provided. And I beveled the tie. He didn't want it anoded or anything, so I just left it as is. And as you can see, it's flush on both sides. I'm very, very meticulous about that. I hate something's uneven, and I also beveled this side. I put a 45 on both sides. Now it does look a little uneven right here because it has this little groove that was cut in there, so it kind of throws this bevel off. So that's the first one, the ZT0707. Y'all let me know down in the comments which one that y'all see, which one's your favorite and why. I'd like to know that. I did a bunch of work on this turd, and this is the Tucson TS227. The original knife, it had this big dip in the top of the blade right here, so I flattened that out right here. I put an acid stone wash on it, and I also put a mirror polished edge on it. Boy, this is 14C28N, and this thing is stupid sharp right now. Don't want to touch that. Also rounded over the spine right here, and this micarta. Oh, it came stupid smooth, so I didn't help that any. The micarta on here was absolutely just hideous, so I tried to polish the turd up a little bit, and I basically did a high grit sanding on it, and then polished it on my buffer. And I love the look of polished micarta, especially when the ergos fit your hand. You don't have to worry about it sliding out. And I also changed the handle up a good bit. This part stuck down a good little way. I don't have a picture of this one offhand. Actually, let me see. I may have one. Action on this thing is awesome and very, very comfortable in hand. And after doing this mod, I actually carry this thing now. I didn't like it too much before. Let me see if I can find you a picture of that. Yes, let's see if I could get it. Well, sorry, I can't. I don't want to take too much time trying to find it, but this is the Tucson TS227. This is a Jerry Jelly design. If you didn't know, dude's got mad skills. I like almost everything he's designed. Next one was just a quick and simple modification. It was on my quiet carry drift. I put an orange peel finish, as you can see, orange peel finish on the tie, and I did an oxy clean ano on there. Very simple ano, doesn't require any heat or electricity. And another thing that used to kind of keep me from carrying this every once in a while is because it was hard to disengage the lock bar because the show side scale was flush with this side. So I cut the show side scale down some, so more is exposed. And if you look on this picture, you can see, well, they got it leaning up a little bit like this, but you can see from the picture that I took out a little bit there, and now it's very easy to disengage. And now this knife has been in the pocket a whole lot. So that is the Quiet Carry Drift. The next, I don't have a picture for either, but it's another Tucson, another Jerry Jelly design, and that is the TS226. I love the look of this knife. I did a bunch of stuff to it. The anode was just experiment, and I don't like the way it turned out. I did a high voltage blue and then stone washed it and did like a pink underneath. And then I did my anode finish. I electro anoded it, then heated it, and then dunked it and got the green and yellows. Did the backspacer as well. And then this side, you can see I did a heavy stone wash on the scales, and I don't know if my lights are gonna show it, but it's like iridescent. It's like pink and purple and all kinds of crazy stuff. You can see just a heavy, and then the clip there as well. And the blade was satin, and I put a heavy stone wash on it. As you can see, I'm not a huge satin fan, unless it's a nice hand rubbed or something. But this finish actually helped the problem I was having. I was having a problem using this front flipper because it would kind of slip off my hands. Well, after I stone washed it, it made it grippy. So let's see if I can do it behind the camera. Yeah, I can do it somewhat. And it made it a lot easier to spidey flick it as well. This thing has excellent action. This one was in 14C28N. There's a Jerry Jelly design. So there you go, there's that one. This is a very simple mod, just because I couldn't leave well enough alone. And this is the QSP Penguin that I added. I was starting to add a top swedge and front right here, and I kind of made a boo-boo on one side, so I ended up taking them and from there rounding the top. And I did a little bit of rounding. No, actually I didn't. I started to, but I just made a top swedge because I think a swedge makes a knife look so much better, especially when it's just plain Jane. But that's an easy one. All right, what next? Okay, this is if y'all didn't know already, they got the new Ontario Rat Model 3 out. And bam, there it is. The Ontario Rat Model 3 with some green canvas micarta. Now, what really happened to this knife, this is one of my tried and true shop knives. And like an idiot, I was prying something and snapped the tip off. So, I wasn't gonna throw it away. I like the knife. So this is what we got here. I put a semi swedge or bevel, whatever you wanna call it, up top. On both sides. And I actually had this green canvas micarta that was like in a scrap pile of like pieces that I had messed up on before. So I even repurposed that. And on the edges, I did a polish to them. As you can see, I love whenever you can see that texture coming out. And you can see all along where I softened it and polished. I'll tell you what, I did a bunch to this knife, probably way too much, especially for how much this knife cost. I chopped this down. Let's see, I bought another regular, so this is the size, if y'all were wondering. And then here's that's a 1, and here's the 2. And the 3's in the middle. So as you can see, it's in between both of those. Perfect, because this is a little small for me. And this is perfect for me now. But as you can see, let me close it up so I don't cut myself. I flatten this part out right here and open this up a little bit. This part's flattened out. And I open this up some because I hate this high hook on the choil. For me, it's just not that comfortable. And you can see what I did. I cut it right past that screw right there. And then I beveled it around. So yeah, I think I've done way too much on here. I doubt I'll actually add a pocket clip to this because it stays in my shop and I've used it, so I don't think it really needs one. All right, the next is these knives. I don't really buy these to use these knives. I use them to modify, just to practice modifications to. And that is the, what is it? The Ganzo, I'm sorry, I just drew a blank. FH11. And let me see if I have a picture of this one. I think I do. Yes, this is what it looked like before. It was just a little longer, and I made it more of like a sheep's foot blade. And I took my time on this one, and I gave it a nice polished crown spine. So hard to show that because it like shines off my lights. And I also, you can look at the back end of this one. And I also kind of reshaped the back. And I didn't want to go back any further because it was perfect for my hands. And that, you know, that's just casualty there. Pretty cool little knife, but it looks way too much like a knockoff of a chamois or whatever. Not saying you would ever mistake in this, but I like it now. I might add a pocket clip to this. Alrighty, the next one is coming from Best Tech, and it is the Best Tech Barracuda chop. So there you go, that's the chop on it, and this is what the knife looked like before. So as you can see, I reshaped the blade into another sheep's foot, and then I chopped the handle, did some softening. That's just some marker right there. And I'll probably add a pocket clip to this one too, because I enjoy using this one. It's comfortable in hand. I'm probably gonna fix this area because this just feels awkward. Might round this right here in the middle so it's a little bit more comfortable. And this thing's got excellent action. Real snappy. I like the flipper tab. That's the Best Tech Barracuda. The next is another Best Tech. Probably one of my favorite, I'd say, if not my favorite, it's definitely, you know, in my favorites of Best Tech, and that is the Best Tech Kendo. But this is the Kendo Chop. I actually have two of these that I bought when they first came out, or no, one I bought, I think sometimes this year, and the other one I had when it first came out. So this one had some issues and it needs to be chopped anyway. But whoop, that's what it looked like before. Just a regular tanto. And that's what it looks like now. Perfect 4-finger grip for me. And I also beveled the top right there just to practice on that. This thing's very, very smooth. They could add some sharper jimping on this because my finger slips off of that all the time. Another thing that I did to this one is I really softened these edges with a Scotch-Brite wheel just to kind of knock them off, and I was kind of experimenting too. It doesn't look the prettiest, but you know, it doesn't have to. It's for me. But man, so soft. It feels so good in hand. It's crazy, like how much you can change the feel of a knife if you break those hard edges. I mean, just barely. I mean, you can barely see that, and it's like a very minute rounding, but God, it makes it feel so much better in hand. I mean, this feels like a dream. I think this is a great little size. I don't love what I did to the blade. That blade shape, I don't love that, but it's kind of, I didn't have a whole lot of options working with the Tanto. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about that one. All right, the next is 4 more Ganzos that I bought just to do some modifications to, or practice some modifications. And let's see, the next one is the Ganzo Firebird FH11. And that's what this bad boy looked like before. Just a drop point. Now it has that like pin blade look to it. I love this look to it now. Still, I think I'm gonna add a pocket clip to this one as well. I don't usually add pocket clips if they're gonna stay in the shop, because a lot of these, that's where they reside, in the shop, and they don't really ever leave the shop. But I like this one now. I didn't like it a whole lot before, just because it had some flipping issues. I was able to fix them. I also put a little bevel up top here. Almost went too far to make an edge up there. It's not sharp, but it's close to it. What y'all think about that one? And I didn't want to go any further because of where that screw's at, and so I still have that part of the pocket clip. That's something I really couldn't do unless I were to make some more scales, but that's just going a little crazy. So I might mill this a little bit further to put a recessed part for the pocket clip. The Ganzo FH11. I gotta hurry. I didn't realize it's already 17 minutes. I done lost 90% of y'all. All right, the next one. This is another one of my favorite chops for the budget arena. The Ganzo F7611. Choppity chop. Yeah, this one, I did a drastic one too. Here is what it looked like originally. You can see there's the blade now and the handle. Somebody actually offered to buy this one from me, but I told them I hadn't put a pocket clip on it yet. So, and the only thing about, you know, I would sell probably any one of these that I've done, or almost any one of these, but you know, being that I wasn't planning on it, and I was practicing on certain things, some things just weren't perfect. Like this, you can see is not perfectly flat on this one, because this is one of the first ones I did. Perfectly comfortable. I'll tell you one thing that I'm proud of on this is that rounding and the chamfer I put on the top of this right here. I was kind of impressed. That was my first shot at it. Good action. The Ganzo F7611. All right, the next one's not a chop as far as the handle goes, but it is. It's for, hold on, I'm pulling up the picture. As far as the blade, and this is the F755. This used to be a cleaver. I thought it was hideous before. Sorry if you own it and you love it, but we all have our opinions. And there it is before with that cleaver shaped blade. One cool thing about the cleaver, you have so much blade to work with. And I had 2 different blade shapes that I was going for, and this is the one I like the most. I think I polled the audience on Instagram, and y'all went with this one as well. And man, this really transformed this knife. Got a nice usable choil up there. And another thing, another reason why, you know, I don't review any Ganzos or Firebirds, just because they've ripped off too many designs, you know, just made their versions of them, and I don't support that. But I guess you'd say you do because you bought these, and yeah, I guess, you know, in a sense. But I'm not trying to promote their products, because I'm trying to change them as much as possible so they don't look anything like anybody else's knives. So sorry if y'all don't agree with that, but I don't want to ruin expensive knives while I'm trying to learn. Around the top up here, this one had a really strong spring. I left it like that for a couple of nights to break that spring in. One more last one, then I'll wrap this video up. Another Ganzo. My buddy JT liked this chop, and this is the Ganzo FH11. And this is what it looks like now. And let's see, this is what it looked like before. I like this one as well. It's perfect for me, perfect size. I mean, I just barely get that 4-finger grip on there. And then I put a little bevel up here in the front. It already had this wedge right there. This is D2 as well, so, you know, it should hold the edge good. And it had excellent action before the mod. It looks clean in the closed position, I think. Stuff I'm working on is, you know, I start out my mods on comfort and ergos first, and then after that I, you know, try to make them aesthetically pleasing. As far as the chop, you know, these aren't my designs, so there you go. That is the mods. I want y'all to tell me which one's your favorite mod down below and why. And if y'all want to see more of these videos, y'all just please let me know down below, and I will try to do these every time I have some to show y'all. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. And I probably won't be, I had too many knives to be listing down below, down in the description box. So if there's any one knife in particular you want to know about, just ask me down in the comments and I will do my best to point you in the right direction. All right, guys and girls, hope everybody's having an absolute wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.